Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Let's see. I'm happy to see some of you joining live. If you can see and hear me, give me a sign, please, because I don't think there is any way to check. Otherwise, I'll just start talking. So, hello, my name is Marty, and this is my first live stream, and I'm happy to see some of you live here, and also hello and welcome to all of those who might join later. You are in the right place if you experience in your life that you do all the right things, but for some reason maybe it works well, and then you find yourself back to square one. You do everything that you were told to do, that you read about in self-improvement books, that your doctor or your physiotherapist, your psychologist told you to do. Everything goes well, and there is one little moment, and somehow you're just back to where you started. If you experience that, that's what's called a pattern, right? Then you are in the right place. Because I don't want to show you what to do. You know what to do, but I want to show you how you can talk to that part that actually created that pattern. And sometimes I will look down to see if there are any comments, but I'm still here with you. And why am I doing it as a live stream? That's cringe, right? Why can't I do it like before? Just a nicely scripted video. That's the reason, because it's cringe. 2 videos ago, in the one that's called Why Just Working on Yourself Won't Do Anything, I set myself up for a challenge to go live without a script, just with an idea what I want to talk about, to break one of my patterns, which is the good student who prepares everything, who wants to have the good grade, so who does everything perfectly, and she hates this idea of me sitting here and talking to you. So that is me going out of my comfort zone, being cringe, to annoy that good student part of myself. And I will show you a technique that you can do on your own with yourself, or of course, if you are in therapy, if you have a coach, you can do it with them as well. But I want to actually stress and highlight that it's better to do on your own, because it's easier to be embarrassing when you are alone in your room, right? And the video is called How to Talk So Your Brain Actually Listens. The sound crackles sometimes, maybe because your hair is touching the mic. Oh, thank you. You're right. Then I just take it off and put it here. Tell me if that's better, Magica. Let's see. Or I hold it in my hand. Is this one that way better? Let me know. Or is it that way better? Test. Is the sound better right now? Or when I put it down? Otherwise, I'll hold it like the influencers are doing it. No difference. Cool. Then I don't need to hold it. Okay, I put it in front of me. And thank you for letting me know. Please let me know if anything disturbs your experience. How to talk to your brain so that it listens. We all kind of talk to ourselves, right? For example, we have a goal of losing weight first because we want to feel good in our body and look good naked, but maybe also we have some lower back pain and we know that losing weight would be the way to go. And then we go to the gym and we do it and we feel confident. Then there is a holiday and we're back to square one. And we say, why? Why couldn't I keep up with what I wanted to do? Why did I mess it up. I always mess this stuff up. Next time I will have to create a stricter schedule. I will have to work harder on myself. I don't want to fail. And do you notice how this way of talking sounds? It's an adult. It's a very rational, fully mature, reasonable adult. But that is not how this part of you that actually broke your goal talks. And with the technique that I will show you live and that you then can do at home, I want to give you another way of talking to yourself when you are, for example, angry at yourself, when you are disappointed, sad, whenever there is some kind of emotion and you find down talking yourself for whatever reason, instead of talking to yourself like you're an adult and like you can just fix your behavior and reach your goal by always doing the correct thing. That's not what we do here as humans. I will show you what else to do. And that technique is called intuitive dialogue or clarity dialogue. And it assumes that your patterns were formed when you were, let's say, 4 years old. So what we will be talking to is you as a 4-year-old. And why 4? Because most of the patterns that we are doing today, for example, sabotaging ourselves, down-talking ourselves, playing small, or the other side, being the egoistic, dominant one, those were learned as, most of all at least, as childhood protective mechanisms because they helped us. They helped us protect ourselves from the adults, from the situation we were stuck in because we just couldn't leave as child, right? So back then they were helpful. And we didn't upgrade our system. So we just kept doing them until we think that's our personality. But it's not. They are still in this 4-year-old version of yourself. And we are here to not break them or destroy the patterns, but to understand them a little more and maybe understand what they need to dissolve, to change. And this dialogue is a dialogue, right? 2 people are talking. One is the 4-year-old and the other one is the adult. And the adult, that is very important to understand, is not the judge or the parent. It is the ideal mature adult that is understanding, loving, present. The adult sees what is happening and holds the space. Whereas the 4-year-old is like a 4-year-old, like a child. It talks maybe nonsense, it can scream, it can do whatever it wants, and it doesn't have to answer, it doesn't have to do anything. And we will be working with 2 seats. By the way, if you have any questions regarding the technique, regarding myself, or anything, just comment. Maybe one side note, why am I the one doing this stuff here? Because I studied psychology and neuroscience, master's and bachelor's, and I did a training as a systemic positive psychology coach and worked with many clients afterwards. So I often went as a coach and as a participant in those ways of talking to parts of myself. And I experienced that as a very powerful technique to really shift something within you compared to just watching videos and reading books and maybe following some steps, but not going into the depth. There is a comment. Before you continue, this is just a small thing. Do you happen to have an air conditioner or something like that in the room? Sometimes it sounds like there's a slight breeze, maybe. Yes, there is an air conditioner actually, because it's very warm. Okay, I will turn it off. I will start sweating, but I will prioritize your experience. Thank you for being so observant. Wait a second, I will be back in a second. Okay. Now it will get hot here, but that's fine. So, where was I? Yes. So, I would say I have the personal and professional experience of doing this kind of work. And I often experienced in myself and clients how it helped, even if it feels embarrassing, because that will come up. So, let me explain how I and you at home, when you do it yourself, can do this technique. As you see, I have two spaces here on the bed. That's the reason why I'm on the bed, but you can also go on the ground, on a sofa. It's just important that you have two seats that you mark. One is a pillow, a gray, boring looking pillow. That's for the adult. And this one, a cute and cuddly blanket, is for the 4-year-old. Whenever I'm on that seat, I am sitting straight. My posture is very important. I'm sitting like a straight adult, a good posture. I am not judgmental. I am just understanding. I am present. I see what is happening in the moment. Another comment. Hey, I know it's probably hot where you are. So please make sure you're staying safe and not getting too hot. Thank you very much. I actually have an air conditioner in the next room, so I hope that it will help me a little bit. Otherwise, I will drink water. Thanks for caring. So the other seat, that one here, as I said, is the one for the adult. And this seat is for the 4-year-old, and you will be switching between both of these. When you are sitting on that one, just imagine you are a 4-year-old. What would a 4-year-old do? They will lie down, they will maybe scream, they will throw with things, or they will just hide and cry. Maybe they won't even talk at all. Because for some, let me go back, because for some people, talking to that child part of themselves is so cringe and embarrassing that they just can't do anything. Nothing comes up, and that is okay, because that is a very important observation, saying that you don't even have access to the part where the patterns were formed. So when you are on that pillow, blanket, whatever, and you feel that nothing is coming up, talk gibberish, just baby language, make sounds, just let out whatever comes out. And if, again, nothing happens, then you, on your adult place, just understand that there is a small child that doesn't want to talk, and you don't force children when they don't want to. That actually creates the opposite effect, right? And you can repeat that technique maybe 2 to 3 times a week and see what changes, because after a while, maybe you think, okay, it is cringe and embarrassing, but let's try it out. Let's maybe just say blah, blah, blah as a child, and maybe something will come afterwards. So you switch between both of these places, and when you are an adult, you try to understand what is happening there, and you try to show the child that it is safe, that there is no danger, and that maybe you can even protect it, or you can give it what it wants. That sounds kind of abstract, so let's try it out. And I'm also a little nervous to do that technique here, because normally, I do it in my own room without people watching live. Magica says, it's so heartwarming to see the parents' support. Yes, and important, this place is not a parent. It is an adult, because many of us, me included, didn't have this support and love from our parents. So I don't know how to associate adult with parental love, and I'm sure there are many other people who also don't know. So it's just you as the ideal adult, how you would maybe wish your parents were, but it's just an adult, not a judge, not a teacher, not a parent. So let's see what comes up. So as an adult, you are sitting here with a straight posture and you say, hello, 4-year-old, how do you feel? Are you upset? Are you angry? And then you switch. And when you're here, you can just do whatever you want. You just know, I don't want to talk. There is a shitty camera. It's really embarrassing. I don't want to do it. But I cannot flee. Okay, maybe I just hide. And when you're doing this kind of work, you will feel that it comes in waves. So there is a wave of emotionality, and when this wave is over, then you switch back. And I feel that I didn't wait until that wave was over because I'm also embarrassed, but that's okay. So it's fine that you are embarrassed. It's fine that you really don't want to do it. It is a strange situation. What would you love to do instead? What would make you happy, or what would bring you joy right now? I don't know. I think it's also good to close your eyes. I want to play, but I want to play outside, but really not care for how I look or how other people look at me. I don't want to well, I don't know. It's so difficult. I don't know. Important when you are in the role of an adult, your eyes are always open. You are very present with what is happening. Another comment, yeah, some people are even parentified as soon as that becomes an option to the parent. Unfortunately, yes, you're right. That is why we don't act as a parent. We act as a loving, mature adult, the one who is present with whatever is happening and accepts it, is not judgmental. So 4-year-old Marty, you want to play. You said it, right? How do you want to play? Maybe alone, because you said you don't want to be seen. You don't want other people to be there. Like, imagine you have your perfect day. How would you play? Like when I had a garden in the house, there was a garden outside with grass, and I could just lay on the grass, and there were like no adults, not nobody. I could just play outside, and I could really lay on the grass and roll around, and I could really touch the grass. And I feel like it's so long that I did something like that, because I never can play outside on the grass anymore. And that's so sad because I always felt so free when I did that. And I want to play outside in the grass and not with 40 degrees and not with, I don't know, dry grass or ants and mosquitoes. And I just want to play with, like, grass feels very cool on the ground. I want to lay on the ground and just play outside. Oh, I didn't expect to become emotional here. Okay. Thank you for telling me what you need. I see that you want to play outside, that you want to roll around in the grass, you want to touch it, you want to just be a tomboy, tomgirl, you want to just be outside, have your small adventures on your own. I hear that, and I can see and hear that it's so important to you to play that way. We didn't play that way for a long time. I understand, especially being in Asia, in Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, you don't really, if you don't have a house, you don't play outside. It's too hot. There are animals that don't know from Europe. I understand. That makes you really sad, right? Yes, I just want to play without other people telling me how to play. I don't know. I see how strongly you wish to play like we did before, like in the grass, outside. And I also see that you are aware right now that way of playing outside is not really possible. But I also heard that you want to play the way you want to. You don't want to be told by others how. You just want to move how you want to, go where you want to. You want to just follow whatever comes up, right? So maybe we can think of another way, not in the grass, in the garden, but maybe there are other ways where you can play that way. Let me think. Do you have an idea? Where else do you like to be that free and playful? Marty, you're so brave. Thanks for showing us. You're welcome. I also feel very brave. Okay. I think, where else do I want to play? I like to play in the garden, on the playground. Ooh, I also like to play in the swimming pool, because there I also could just splash around and do whatever I wanted. It was cool and it felt very free. I could just splash with the water and play how I wanted. Swimming pools also very nice. And we went to this pool, right? But when I was in the pool, I couldn't play because I had to put my hair up, it gets wet, and then my face, the chlorine in the water. I'm not allowed to dive because the makeup would, and all this shit. I don't want that. I like swimming pool, but I don't want to play that way. Swimming pool. That is a nice idea. And I understand that when we go into the ocean, into any kind of pool, I am very restrictive, right? I don't want to get my hair wet. I don't want to dive. I don't want to splash around. I just go inside, relax, and come out. I don't play in the pool. And you want to play, right? What if the next time I go into the ocean, the pool, a lake, right now we have a small pool upstairs in this condo. What if we could just play and get our hair wet? We go under the water, even if the water has maybe chloride, whatever, and we just splash around. We splash around so long that you get tired of splashing around. No matter if there is somebody, maybe we ask them, but most of the time there is no one. And then we could just play as freely and as wild as you want. This is not the garden and the grass that you wished for, but what do you think about this kind of playing? Yeah, that sounds good. I want to do that, and I want to dive with my head underwater. I want to just do whatever I want. I want to jump and play. Okay, then I promise you that we will do that tonight or tomorrow. Probably you want to tonight, right? Then we will go and play. Whew, okay. It was more emotional than I thought. I just shake everything off. And do you have any thoughts that came up while you were looking at the display of this intuitive dialogue or clarity dialogue? Magica asks, awesome, what's a good way to end this exercise? How do I know I've gone deep enough instead of just continuing to analyze? Interesting that you call it analyze. I wouldn't say that the adult part was analyzing. It was just giving space for whatever comes up here. So time-wise, you can talk that way for maybe 15 to 40 minutes, but that's a stupid ending, right? But you will feel it. You will feel when this part has either just let out whatever it wanted to say, or when it is satisfied. Like right now, I did find a satisfactory ending. I did have a suggestion how we could do what this child part wanted, to feel free to play, but that's not always the case. Sometimes that part just wants to cry and shout, and you just wait until that wave is over. And when you switch back and feel there is still just emotion that wants to come out, do that. You know how, for example, when you are upset about something, the first wave of anger that comes feels really real, and you let it out and you are angry and upset. And after a while, either the wave ebbs off and this emotion goes, or you choose to continue to make up stories to be even more upset. So when you feel that you are you are the one actually continuing this story, this emotion, this dialogue, then maybe it would be time to end it, because the adult is just there to give space and be supportive, but he is not there, or she, to analyze the situation. So you don't want to superficially prolong whatever is coming up. Like the adult wouldn't ask something like, what do you think about that we can't play right now? Or the adult wouldn't ask the 4-year-old for advice. It wouldn't ask that part of you, why are you doing that? Because when you ask children why, they don't know, they just do. So when you feel that this part, this primal part of you doesn't have any more to say or to feel, then you slowly go into the ending, and in the end you show, I'm there for you, I support you, I appreciate and love you, even if I don't understand you. So even if you don't understand what was happening there rationally, something happened, and maybe that was enough for at least that round of the dialogue. I hope that answered your question. And there is another one. Thanks, I just saw that too. You guys have found a really nice activity to do together. Yes. And I also see, because this, of course, was my inner child talking, but I also see how not being wild and free restricts me in my being too serious, being too reasonable and adult, and not allowing myself, like, why the hell is it bad if my hair gets wet? You know, these rules that I impose on myself in playtime, I probably also impose on myself when doing videos in my work. So I feel like it's not only about how I have fun in my life during playtime, but also in all of my life and all of my work, that I'm actually suppressing that one part that just want to be wild and free. Another comment, yes. Has this method personally helped you resolve something emotionally? Well, actually, right now, I was kind of surprised that I was crying when I was there. So there was obviously some kind of bottled up emotion. And I remember when I was doing it for the very first time, which was 5 years ago, I think 5 or 6 years ago, I remember the shame and embarrassment of acting like that part, because I was a very rational and calm person on the outside, and I didn't allow myself to just fool around. So when I was there and now I had the instruction to just let it out, I didn't know what to let out. So I just went under my blanket and I sat there and I didn't know. So what I did let out was being angry that I have to do something. But just showing my emotions and letting them out, that was a big step that I resolved doing that exercise. And I think there are many people who think it's embarrassing and childish to let out what you are feeling. But isn't it more childish or embarrassing to not do that and to instead have symptoms in your body, whatever? Because in one way or the other, whatever you are experiencing will manifest in your body or in your soul. Is there another question? Thanks for sharing. That was very personal. I appreciate it. I am very happy to have tried this on camera, and I'm surprised that it worked. So for anyone who is still here right now, thank you. I appreciate for you giving me your time and attention. And I really invite you to do it on your own. It doesn't need to have a specific situation, a trigger. You can just feel into whatever is there in this part, because that is the age where all the patterns are formed. And when you allow yourself to have a small access, you might be surprised what can come up. And it can be a warning, it can be serious, especially if you experience trauma. I would not suggest to do this on your own as the only way to work on your wounds. It would be best either with a psychologist, a therapist together, or you do it and talk about it with some other person, because you don't want to get lost in that part. You always want to end on the space of an adult, and you always want to end in the present, because the adult is in the here and now. The adult sees what is happening there, judges not, but appreciates. And this part is always in the past. It is about how it, of course, the 4-year-old is in the past, and it's about what it wants to do, what back then, or what it didn't get to do, whatever need comes up. But you always want to end it here. And if something comes up in that part, you as an adult still want to be understanding. And you as an adult want to show that you are safe. Even if some kind of wound or trauma comes up, when you are on the adult space, detach yourself a little bit, take a breath, and tell this part that whatever happened back then, you are there to protect it. You are there for your 4-year-old. You protect it. It is safe right now. And you will do whatever it needs to heal that part, to work on that part. Maybe go to a professional or to a group, or do breath work, yoga, whatever you can do to calm yourself down and to center yourself back. And ideally, go to a professional if something comes up. Okay, I think there are no comments left. Oh, there is one. Thanks for sharing the exercise with us. It's really inspiring. Oh my God, I'm asking so many questions. Does anyone else have any? TR of E29 maybe. Cool that we are here together with Marty. If there are questions, you can also put them in the comments. I will answer them, and I appreciate if you do the exercise. Maybe I can write some notes into the comments of the pinned comments so that you see what exactly I was saying, how the setup is, just for clarity. And if you have any experiences to share, just write them in the comments. Write me a message. I think you can't write a message. Write me an email or a comment. I will read everything. And I encourage you to try to talk to that part. And even if the only thing you get out of it that it feels cringe, then that's so important. Because beneath that cringe might be just the solution to the thing that you are working with the whole time. Okay, so I'm very glad to have you here. I will end the stream in 10 seconds if there isn't any more questions. And if you have other ideas for live streams that I could do, like maybe another exercise of those, because normally you just hear them in videos, right? You do step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you journal about it, and that's it. Yeah, you can do that, but it goes deeper when you really act things out and talk to yourself. So the way you talk to your brain is talk like you're a 4-year-old. The example that I said in the very beginning, that you want to lose weight for your health and you don't do that and you're hard on yourself. What if you talked to you like you would talk to a 4-year-old in that situation? Don't say, why can't I stick to this stuff? I need a stricter schedule. I'm so dumb. Say instead, with love to yourself, hey, okay, the holiday was very nice. I see that you had so much fun and the food was delicious. How can we make working out fun again? for example. But you talk to your brain and to your patterns like you would talk to a 4-year-old, not an adult who fails at their goals, but like a 4-year-old. You don't shout and discuss and rationalize, but understand, give love and appreciation, and you don't always have to understand what's going on beneath. Just be there and present. Okay, ciao for now, and I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you for being here with me. Ta-da!